Incentives, subsidies. It's basically part of what we are doing today when we talk about the energy transition. Some call it the green transition, which includes also other sectors than the energy sector. But in order to make that happen, we need to do something. We can simply order people to do so, or we can tax them, or give them subsidies. All this kind of incentives to make people do the right thing, or what we think the right thing is. It's not always easy. You cannot just give, say, state aid to your own industry, because we are part of an internal market within the EU, so we have a state aid prohibition. We have provisions saying you must not disturb the competition. There shall be an equal and fair competition within the internal market. You can read here Article 107, subsection 1. Save as otherwise provided in the treaties, any aid granted by a member state or through state resources in any form whatsoever which distort or threatens to distort competition by favoring certain undertakings or the production of certain goods shall, insofar as its affect trade between member states, be incompatible with the internal market. So, if your subsidies is threatening the fair and equal competition within the EU, no way. No way. We have certain exemptions for, say, renewable energy and stuff like that we really would like to have. But in general, no state aid, please. But the EU itself gives support. There are structural funds, there are support programs, we even allow private funding, and we have very special guidelines for state aid, say for climate, environmental protections, and for energy. We have conditions. The support must promote the development of economic activities. And also negative conditions. The aid measures must not affect trading conditions in a way that is contrary to the common interest. We see this used on renewable energy, energy efficiency, buildings, mobility. So some sort of support we can give of state aid, but we need to have a good reason, and we need not to overdo it. Recently, a very special compensation was issued in Denmark. It was based off what we know as energy poverty. Have you heard about it? In Denmark it's not so common, but in many countries around Europe, it's so expensive for the common population to heat their homes that they, for instance, during the winter, cannot afford to heat their entire homes, but must live in a minor part of their home because the energy is so costly Heat or eat, ladies and gentlemen. And when natural gas prices rose due to the Ukrainian war in Denmark, there was also people who got that problem. I myself, I wouldn't say shocked. I'm an adult, so it's hard to shock me, but I certainly raised my eyebrow when I saw my gas bill for my then gas boiler. I now have district heating, I assure you. It's a lot cheaper. So energy poverty is a reality also in Europe and also in Denmark, where many people with low incomes came into problem. So we actually sent them a check. It had to go fast because, well, the heating season was closing in and the heating season was past, and no one really got any money. So we made a system in Denmark where we based it on a public register. BBR we call it. It's a building register where we hope we have correct information about all Danish houses, homes. So we can see, do those have a gas boiler? How big is the house? We can go to another register and see how many people lives here, how old are they, what are their incomes. Hey, Denmark is a really heavy registered country. Don't make me talk about GDPR in a Danish context. Anyway, it didn't went so well because you really haven't tried this before, and you found out that the data in the building register seldom was correct. Not seldom, often wasn't correct, I would say. But with that heat compensation, we tried to compensate for increased inflation, high energy prices, and so on. But if you give people money to pay their heat bill, they will continue to heat their homes, which means inflation will keep rising, and the energy consumption will not go down. It will at least remain. The thing about such a shortage of supply is that people shall limit their consumption, and aid do not make people limit their consumption. So it's a bit of a catch-22 here. And when you subsidize people, do they switch away from problematic energy sources? Basically, there's a lot of old homes in the countryside who may be so expensive to heat that we actually should leave them and tear them down. So maybe we should, in fact, have given people money to buy their houses and have them move to some more modern and better buildings. But that's another question. Thank you for your attention.